Americans who bought electric cars were promised the future. Lower costs, no maintenance, freedom from the gas pump. And right now, a lot of them are quietly trying to get out. Nearly half of them say they want to go back to gas. It's getting worse every single year. The technology moves on without them. If you felt this yourself, stay with me, because the part about resale value is the one nobody warned people about.
I think I'm over this EV shit. I just got off work. Been at work since 5 this morning. Well, 6 this morning. I have to now detour to charge this dumb shit. I'm stuck here. And look how much cars are waiting to charge. Why is there not more charging stations, dude? And I'm stuck here because I don't have enough battery to get home.
That kind of frustration is everywhere right now. And it's not just noise on the internet. Here's the number that proves it. A firm called McKinsey ran a huge survey of car buyers. These are the people the auto industry pays to tell it what's coming. And what they found is that 46% of American EV owners said they're likely to go back to a gas car for their next purchase, almost half. The man who ran that research admitted he did not see it coming. He figured once you go electric, you stay electric. Almost half of them are telling him he was wrong. And listen to why. Because this is the important part. The top 2 reasons had nothing to do with politics. They were boring. They were practical. Number 1 was charging. Not enough of it. Too slow when you find it. Number 2 was the plain cost of owning the thing. 2 real-world problems that no amount of advertising can spin away. Let's start with charging, because that's the one people feel first. If you own a house with a garage, charging is genuinely great. You plug in overnight, you wake up full, and your fuel costs about 4 cents a mile. Nobody's arguing with that. The problem is everybody else. If you live in an apartment, if you park on the street, if you take a road trip, now you're living on public fast chargers, and public fast charging is not cheap. Depending on the network, you're paying somewhere between 35 and 56 cents for every kilowatt hour. At those prices, that dream of never paying for fuel again just quietly disappears. You're paying gas car money to stand in a parking lot for 25 minutes, hoping the charger even works. Then there's winter. Cold weather doesn't just knock a few miles off. It takes a real bite out of your range, because the battery hates the cold and the heater is pulling from that same battery to keep you warm. So the 300-mile car you bought in July quietly turns into a 200-mile car in January. Right when being stranded is the last thing you want. None of that goes on the window sticker. But charging and cold weather, people half expected those. The one that blindsides them, the one that turns a little annoyance into real anger, is what the car is worth the day they try to sell it.
This is the most depreciating car I have ever owned. We paid $151,000 for this car. And I think this car right now, because it's got really high miles, it's probably worth like $50,000 or $45,000 or something like that. So over $100,000 in depreciation in not quite 5 years. That's $25,000 a year that it depreciated, or $2,000 a month. So now, get rid of that sucker. And honestly, anybody that's still buying new EVs, you're going to get hammered, man.
And that reaction is not an overreaction. This is where the numbers stop being annoying and start being brutal. There's a big study that came out this year from a company called IC Cars. They tracked what different cars are worth after 5 years. Electric cars lost 57% of their value, more than half. Gone. Now compare that to hybrids, the so-called old-fashioned choice. Hybrids lost about 35%, so the boring hybrid your neighbor bought held its value way better than the high-tech electric car you were told was the smart, forward-thinking move. And it gets more specific, and it gets more painful. The Nissan Leaf lost 63% of its value in 5 years. The Volkswagen ID, 62%. The Ford Mustang Mach-E, almost 61%. Even Tesla, the brand with the best resale reputation in the whole game, the Model Y still dropped almost 58%, and the Model 3, one of the best in the class, still lost 55%. Put that in real money. A $55,000 electric SUV can be worth $27,000, maybe $30,000 after just 3 years. Half your money evaporated while you're still making payments on it. So why does this happen? Because this is the part that separates a rant from an actual explanation, and I want you walking away understanding the machine, not just angry at it. There are 3 real forces driving this down, and not one of them is going away. The first is the technology moving too fast. Range, charging speed, software, it all gets better every single year. Sounds great, until you realize it means your 2-year-old car already feels old next to the new one on the lot. A gas sedan from 2022 and one from 2024 are basically the same car. But an electric car from 2022 and one from 2024 can be a totally different machine, and used buyers know it, so they will not pay up for the older one. The second force is the tax credit, and this one is almost cruel. A lot of the incentives that made these cars affordable get scooped up by the first buyer, baked into the deal to pull the new price down, but that drags the used price down right along with it. The same discount that helped you buy it is the thing destroying what you can sell it for. And the third force is the fear sitting under every single used electric car listing. Battery fear. Buyers are terrified of getting stuck with a repair bill they can't survive. And honestly, they are not wrong to worry.
Today we're going to repair a Tesla battery, as you can see right behind me. It's super annoying when an EV battery fails, cause manufacturers can charge you up to 20,000 euros to replace it.
Pounds was said it's gonna cost to fix this car, to replace the battery. The whole battery on an electric car, which is the Mercedes EQS from 2022. And this car, when it was new, was costed over £100,000. Mercedes have checked it, and they said the battery won't be covered by the warranty, and it's going to cost £40,000 to put it right. Now, bear in mind, there was no damage on the battery a year ago when the accident happened.
Nothing on the battery.
Nothing. It was only the front end. It's even strange how did they write it off from bodywork. But now who would spend 40,000 in this car? Probably that is worth, I don't know, about 50,000 pounds now. Who will spend?
Now let me be straight with you here, because this audience checks the facts, and you should. Most battery warranties run 8 years or 100,000 miles, and most batteries actually outlast that. So the scary stories about your battery dying at year 3, those are overblown. Let's be fair, but when a battery does fail outside of warranty, the bill is genuinely frightening. Right now, in 2026, replacing one runs from about $6,000 on the small end all the way up to $15,000, $18,000, even $25,000 for the big luxury packs. $25,000 on a car that has already lost more than half its value. At that point, you're not fixing a car anymore. You're deciding whether to bury it. But here's the thing I want you to actually sit with. The problem was never the electric motor. These cars are nice to drive, quiet, quick, cheap to charge if you've got a plug at home. The problem is what got sold on top of them. The promise that this was the obvious, money-saving no-brainer choice for everybody, no matter how you live or where you park. That promise was oversold. And the people finding that out right now, they are not anti-technology. And they are not stupid. They are the ones who paid full price to test drive a product the industry is still figuring out. And a lot of them are quietly realizing the smartest move would have been to let somebody else eat that first brutal hit on depreciation and buy the thing 3 years used with the warranty still breathing. So if that's you, you're not alone, and you were not a fool. You were just early. And sometimes the only reward for being early is the bill. Keep the one you've got. Drive it. Let the payments close the gap, because the value drop flattens out after year 4. And if you're buying next, buy used. Buy the one somebody else already took the loss on, and let them fund the lesson instead of you. Now I want to hear from you, and be honest, because this is the one topic where everybody's got a number they don't say out loud. What did your electric car cost you? What's it worth now? And if you've tried to sell one, tell me down in the comments.